do you do if your life doesn't really suck, but it's kind of worse? It is just so boring. When I was 30, it was day after day of go to the gym, go to work, go home, go to work, go to the gym, go home, work, home, maybe happy hour on a Friday, a movie on the weekend. It was just day after day of the same thing with these little breaks on the weekend to get myself away from this horrible, boring life. My life goal at that point was just stop being broke. But once you get to the life goal, then what? One thing nobody tells you, when you have everything you want, it does not lead to a fulfilling life. This is why you see millionaires and successful people mess their lives up with drugs and alcohol and doing stupid things. When you are lost and bored, it can lead to a lot of tough questions that you might not like the answers to. I sure didn't. But if you're willing to ask them, you can escape the boredom and lead the life that you want to live. Question number 1, am I living someone else's idea of a good life? See, all my friends had good jobs and they were buying houses and they were trying to work their way up the ladder. When you're in high school, it's all about getting into a good college. And then when you're in a good college, it's all about getting a good major. And then when you get a good major, it's all about getting a good job. I was at the good job part. And here I was staring down the barrel of another 20 years of sitting in boring meetings, hitting random deadlines, and trying to look good in front of management. At first, I couldn't believe how much money they were willing to pay me to sit behind a computer all day. But it didn't take me long to realize that I was literally selling my life to them. I fought with every boss I ever had. And at one point, one of them asked me, "Why do you fight with me all the time? These meetings, these deadlines, answering emails, looking good, this is the job." And it just hit me. She was right. I looked at the people 10 years ahead of me and I thought, this is not the life that I want. But I didn't have a better plan. And reading books or watching videos about finding your passion was not doing it for me. But I kept searching and it led me to question number 2. Am I trying enough new things? I'd gotten really comfortable with my routine and my list of new experiences was limited to trying a new restaurant once a month. It was this like inertia of staying stuck. And they say inertia is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is so much easier to stay where you are than to go and try something new. I was so bored that I was just forcing myself to try new things. I was going to like weekend retreats. I was going to classes on like photography and music and dancing. I was saying yes to everything. I was asking everyone a ton of questions and I would do all these like little personal challenges just to try new things. You learn a lot about yourself when you get into a bunch of rooms with a bunch of different people. I met billionaires, professional athletes, hippies, even criminals. The goal of trying all this stuff wasn't to find my passion. It was just to break up the monotony of my boring life. But when you try enough things, you meet enough people that you realize a few of them do seem to have it figured out. And what they had that I didn't have is actually question number 3. Do I have a reason to get up early or stay up late? The most interesting people I met were super passionate about something. They would share this enthusiasm for planning their Halloween costume or improving their 5K time or building a new website, and you could tell they just loved it. And even though I hate dressing up and I hate running, I had a lot of respect and admiration for how fired up they were. You see enough of that and you start asking, what fires me up? What would I do for free in my spare time? This is where trying new things really comes in handy. You try enough new stuff and you find yourself moving towards the things that give you energy and away from the things that take it away. I found that I loved learning and teaching, and I especially loved helping people get past the things that stop them. I'd find myself staying up late to help someone who felt stuck or lost, and then getting up early to check their messages to see if they responded to what I sent them. It just felt right to me. For you, it might be a passion for football or finance or artificial intelligence, or if you like my son, Mario Kart. If you could spend all of your time geeking out about those things, life wouldn't be so boring, right? So I started exploring that, helping people for free at first, and then building a career around fitness and then business. And it was like kind of like a dream. It was amazing for a little while. But even a dream can get boring. And I found myself in a familiar place a few years into my business journey. And that led me to the fourth and final question that I always ask if I'm feeling bored. Am I growing? Even your most passionate hobby can become a boring job when you make it your full-time gig. After getting past this sort of business survival mode around 4 years in, I found myself back on the daily grind. I would coach, I would review numbers, I would write programs, rinse and repeat. I had my dream, but it kind of felt like the same old shit. I asked myself those first 3 questions, and I realized that I didn't have a reason to get up early or stay up late anymore. I had to find a new challenge that was beyond my comfort zone. We needed to get better at marketing, so I started learning everything I could, trying a bunch of experiments, making some mistakes, and bam! I get excited about my business again. It felt like I had a reason to get up, a reason to stay up late, a reason to live. Okay, well, that's being a little bit dramatic, but if you find yourself bored with your life right now, you don't need to do a bunch of crazy stuff like quitting your job or moving to another country or going on a psychedelic journey. You just need to find a way to learn and grow. Is there something you can learn right now that could improve your life? Or at least make it more interesting? If you have a goal to learn something new, go check out this video over here on how to create systems to make sure that you follow through and achieve the goal or outcome that you want.